What's up, world? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Thank you for tuning in to Talk with TZ presents Venus versus Mars. We back in the building with another topic. Get some of that female perspective, that male perspective. I think tonight's topic might get real, if normally we try to keep it as real as possible on the show. So I think it might get a little bit deep tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all know I always start with some music. I'm gonna play some music, and sorry, I am your host TZ. I'm in a building, of course. Let's start with some music, you guys, before we talk about the topic for tonight. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. Got a lot on my mind, I'm thinking I need a break. Clear the clutter, dang man. Can I get a minute? Get some space, man. You been in my head, playing games, man. Give me way to control it. Got me feeling like I can't breathe. I can't even hang with the homies. No reason not to trust me. I'm your lady, not a slave. You my nigga, not my master. I'll escape. Thinking who can I run to? Got me looking for a new dude with a chill vibe, with a nice time, who can lay back, who don't pick fights, who ain't insecure. Who ain't insecure? Yeah. Why you gotta be so insecure? Yeah, when I did all I could do, but you be wanting more. And why you can't get above my back? And I can take a lot of shit, but I won't take that. Been a long time, maybe home, I've been away. Work got me in and out of state. Don't know what you're doing. Wanna watch you're doing. You got niggas in your face, I never let you go to waste. You my treasure, baby, not my trash. Thirsty, about to make a nigga splash. Why I treat you like a trophy? Control freak, I tell you that's better than all free. Find someone better, you can go free. Stop tripping, girl, you know me. I'm your homie, don't cut it off. We done said it all and we done it all. I want it all for myself, sorry if I'm coming off insecure. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Why you gotta be so insecure? Yeah. Hey, okay, you guys. I think that this song kind of touches on our topic a little bit tonight. And our topic tonight, you guys, is insecurities. Insecurities, I think, is something that everybody deals with. I think it's something that either at some point in our life, we might have dealt with insecurity. We might not deal with that one anymore. But you never know if another one piles on top of that one. So I want to talk about the insecurities. What's your insecurities? What insecurities have you overcome? What insecurities are you still working on? So I had did a little bit of research on insecurities. And I kind of wanted to talk about the definition. So with the insecurities, and then of course, you guys, I will talk about some of my insecurities, maybe some of the things that I dealt with being insecure with, maybe some of the things I overcame from having insecurities with certain things, and then maybe some things I might still be insecure about. So insecurities, when you look at the definition of insecurities, it is uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, lack of confidence or assurance, self-doubt, the quality or state of being insecure, instability. So then I looked up some different words. Well, that's the definition of insecurity: uncertain about self, lack of confidence. You need assurance, self-doubt, doubting yourself, which a lot of times we do that. A lot of us, I think, at some point, everybody has doubted themselves and has not moved to where they needed to move forward and in life because of their insecurities. And I think that has a lot to do with people moving forward in life, people trying to be the best version of themselves. When you deal with insecurities and maybe you don't know how to deal with them or work on them or try to get over those insecurities, it can really put a halt in your life and what you have going on. So then I looked up some words that go with insecurity or insecure. And of course, again, I seen self-doubt, uncertainty, vulnerability, anxiety, instability, danger, jealousy, and lack of confidence. So it's a lot more words that relate, and you can relate it with the word insecure. But those are just some of the words that I found, and I just was like, wow, especially danger. That was when I was just kind of like, But I think I could see where being insecure and danger can kind of fit in and clash and intertwine with each other. So then, what causes our insecurities? What causes our insecurities? So it says most of us feel insecure sometimes, but some of us feel insecure most of the time. It can be from the kind of childhood you had, past traumas, recent experiences of failure or rejection, loneliness, social anxiety, negative beliefs about yourself. I'm going to say that again, negative beliefs about yourself, perfectionism. That's a big one. That's a big one. Or having a critical parent or partner can all contribute to insecurity. So these are just some things. I mean, for me, I definitely think when it comes to insecurity, I no longer deal with, but one of my insecurities that I dealt with, and I talked about this before, was actually like the physical, my weight, my body. Like I used to be very, very insecure about that. I used to just feel like, and as much as I am pretty, as much as I have some nice teeth, I got a good length of hair on my head underneath this, I still was insecure. I was insecure about my body. I felt like I was just fat and big and nobody would never want me. And I was just like, it was never going to happen for me. Like, or, I never, it was a tough road that I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror, that I was ashamed of my body. That is definitely a insecurity that can spill over into other things, into your relationships. When you get dressed, like I said, when you got to look in the mirror at yourself, how you think about yourself, that stuff shows on the outside. Sometimes you can hide it for a little bit, but sometimes it starts to show. So I was very, 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 very insecure about my weight at one point in my life. And I want to say today, I am definitely like way better with it. I have learned to love who I am. I have learned to love every aspect of me, or I'm continuing to learn to love every aspect of Shantae unapologetically. Like I have people always, I get a lot of people that, they look up. I don't want to say, but they look up to me. They ask me like, how do you have this confidence, or how do you do this, or how do you do that when it comes to like making sure that you looking nice, you looking right, you doing your thing for a plus size female. And it wasn't overnight. This didn't happen overnight. This was not something that just came about and I was like, you know what, I'm that chick and I'm going regardless of what, like this and that. No, I had to work on that. I had to go through some things. I had to be called some names. I had to be talked about. I had to be rejected from dudes. Same dudes that rejected me before want me now, you feel me? So I had to, I had to deal with all of that to get to where I'm at now, to be like, you know what, Shantae, you beautiful as fuck. Yeah, you might got a little bit of weight on you, baby girl, but you got to learn to take what you have and you got to work with it and you got to learn how to rock it. And once I got to that point, which it took some years, and even now I'm still self-developing and I'm still, I might have some insecurities, but my weight is not one of them. I had to work on that and I had to really now what caused it, like I said, I just grew up. Most of the kids were smaller. I was more on the plus size area. I mean, I grew up, I definitely grew up with kids that were smaller than me. Society, the average is not to be plus size, is not to be a big chick. You're supposed to be skinny, this, down, and third. So just growing up like that, growing up in the hood, being ranked on, talked about, like I said, rejection from maybe, feel like I was going to be rejected from boys because of my weight, or, certain things like that. That all played a factor into that. But I really had to look at myself like, what are you insecure about that for? Everybody is not made to be the same, like at all. Everybody is made to be different. And I had to learn to stop comparing myself to others, or like, oh, well, no, we're going to look at Shantae. Let's see how Shantae could work over this step. Let's see how she could work on this insecurity of hers, and how I'm going to, insecurity of mine, talking to the person, but insecurity of mine, and how I'm going to love who I am. And I really had to start working on self. And I really had to start like looking in the mirror every day and telling myself that I'm beautiful, that I love me. I had to look at my whole body, not just my face, none of that. And I love it. And I'm not ashamed. Like one of my friends, one of my people was like, it was like, oh, why you know, like I show skin sometimes when I go out. When I like to dress up, when I like to go out, because for so many years I hated this body for so many years. Shantae didn't really like who she was physically and maybe some other things as well, but I'm talking about the physical right now. Maybe I didn't like that. So and now that I love me, now that I love my body, I know y'all see when I go out, I put up pictures, I might have on a little short. So what? Because a skinny girl doing the same exact thing, what's the difference? Like, you feel me? I had to learn to love Shantae. I had to learn to work with what Shantae has and kill it. And as I do as such, I'm always, you know, I do that when I go out. I love to get dressed up. And I could do from this to this to this, you know. So at the end of the day, that insecurity of mine, I had to lift up off of that because that was something that was holding me back a lot. Like just not loving myself. And even when I used to get dressed, I didn't love myself. I know it's a lot of people out there that's like that, that put on this facade and put on these clothes and put on this and put on that and put on a smile and go outside. And deep down inside, they are really insecure about a lot of things. And it doesn't only have to be the physical, it can be mental, emotional. Watch, I do have, I'm going to go into the different type of insecurities that I have. I looked at when I did a little bit of research. On insecurities, like a lot, like I said, sometimes you can hide it. Sometimes you can hide those insecurities. You can hide, you know, the jealousy, the anxiety, but at some point that's all temporary because it's gonna come to the surface. What's up, Blaze? He said your confidence definitely improved, sis. Love you. Thank you. I love you too. It truly did. Like I really looked at myself as just like this little fat girl. Like now you cannot tell me nothing. Like now, if I'm gonna show a little bit of this belly, I'm gonna show a little bit of this belly. Like, and I'm gonna look good doing it. You feel me? I'm going to look good while I'm doing it. So at the end of the day, I'm very happy that I overcame being insecure about my weight because that was such a big issue for me. But like I said, it's been a while now and I've been good with it. I'm fine. Sometimes I lose weight. Sometimes I might go up a little bit. Sometimes I might lose. But guess what? However it is, I'm going to control it. I'm going to work with it. I'm going to love me. I'm going to step in a room full of other beautiful women. I don't care if they skinny, thick, big butts, whatever. Like, I don't care. I'm going to step into that room. And when I step into that room, I'm going to always feel like I'm the shit. And I'm going to always feel like I'm not, oh, well, now, but now I'm going to feel like nobody can't take that from me. You know how many friends I got that's smaller than me or friends with big ass butts and stuff? We all be together and I'm never intimidated. You know why? Because I had to work on Shantae and look at myself and see who I was to say, you know what, bitch, you got this. You know who you are. So, you know, once I tapped into that, that's what it was about. And that's what I want people, you know, our people to do when we have to deal with certain insecurities. And like I said, there's more than the physical. I'm actually about to get into the other ones. Tap them. What's up, bro? V's, V's, can't killing me with these names. What up, Dale? Dell is the one, that's my brother. That's the one that does all my flyers and stuff for my shows. And so he helps me out a lot with that. So big up to you. So then we had some different type of insecurities. So type one was insecurities based on recent failure or rejection. And when I was looking up some research on this, it said recent events in our lives can greatly affect both our mood and the way we feel about ourselves. Research on happiness suggests that up to 40% of our happiness quota is based on recent life events. The biggest negative contributor to happiness is the ending of a relationship, followed by the death of a spouse, job loss, and negative health events. Since unhappiness also influences your self-esteem, failure and rejection can deliver a double whammy to your confidence. So that's one of the top reasons why some people feel insecure in their life or about themselves, is because maybe they were rejected from something. It could have been a job, or somebody that they were, they liked. It could have been a family member that they were trying to build a bond with, and they could have been rejected. Or, it could have even been trying to get a new car and you got rejected, or you had a failure where you might feel bad about that, like, damn, I failed. But at the end of the day, you guys, I think when it comes to fear and rejection, it might cause a little bit of insecurity, but I think that I feel like it's easier to kind of work around being more secure when it comes to recent failures or rejection. And I say that because I look at a lot of successful people, and I'm not just talking about money wise. I look at a lot of successful people, and you read up on them and you look at their stories, because guess what? We all got a motherfucking story. We all done been through some shit. Some people are like me, where we're able to express that and talk about it because we know that it's going to help the next person. Some people feel like it's not meant for everybody, and they deal with that behind closed doors, and that is all fine. But when you look at these successful people and you look at their stories and you look at the things that they have to say, they all came from something. They all been rejected hundreds of times. The pursuit of happiness, like the people have been rejected over and over and over again. And yeah, it might cause some insecurities in you, but when you know that you have something going for your life, and you know that you have something going for yourself, you're not gonna let that one door stop you. You're not gonna let those 4 no's stop you, because at some point you're gonna get a yes. So when it comes to being insecure based on recent failure or rejection, listen, don't let that stop you. Because again, like I said, I feel like that keeps us, especially my Black people, like I feel like that keeps us from moving forward. And I know that's one of the things, besides fear, which is a big part of being insecure, but just rejection. That's gonna happen. That's a part of the plan. It's a part of the process. Do not quit. Do not say, you know what, I'm insecure about this. They didn't like what I was doing. They didn't want to take my offer. They didn't want to put, you got to keep it pushing and know that there's somebody that no is set up for something greater. Straight, period, you guys. Hi, Antoinette. She said, love you unconditionally. I love you too. Always unconditionally, near or far. So, and then type 2 I see is lack of confidence because social anxiety. So it says many of us experience a lack of confidence in social situations like parties, family gatherings, interviews, and dates. The fear of being evaluated by others. Let me say that again. The fear of being evaluated by others and found to be lacking can lead you to feel anxious and self-conscious. As a result, you may avoid social situations, experience anxiety when you participate in social events, or feel self-conscious and uncomfortable during them. Past experience can feed your sense of not belonging, not feeling important or interesting, or just not being good enough. And let me tell you guys something, and I know that especially in today's world, especially with our children and the youth, this whole this world of social, growing up, we didn't have the social media world, and we all know that. But we still had to deal with social anxiety. We still had to be around people. Growing up, a lot of us got ranked on. A lot of people got ranked on. But, most people looked at it as all love and all jokes. But in reality, you don't know what you don't know what type of trauma you might have been causing that person by, ranking on them or whatever you guys wanted to call it. Or even being judgmental. Or when somebody step in a room, females, ladies, why y'all always looking somebody up and down when they stepping in the room? Why would you do that to somebody? You don't know if that person and it's not I don't want to say this to make it seem like it's your responsibility to walk on eggshells and make sure that this person, but it's nothing to be kind. When a female walks in the room, you don't got to look her up and down. You don't got to do any of that, because you don't know what that person is dealing with. She might have she or he might have got dressed up, thought they were looking really nice. So they probably, they felt like they were. And then here come the negative Nancy's. When somebody walks in, you in a corner talking about them, or you this and that third. A lot of times we got to worry about ourselves. A lot of times we got to stop worrying about other people in social settings. If it's not on a positive note, if you can't big that person up, if you can't say something positive to that person, mind your business, because you don't know what type of issues people may deal with. They may be insecure, and you might have just contributed to being more insecure, to that person being more insecure just because you wanted to be a negative person. So I think too with the kids and social media, they have a lot more on their plate because once it's put on social media, so many people see it. It gets talked about all around the school. It's a lot of things that these kids deal with. So I could definitely understand where insecurity might come in at when it comes to, being on social media, being around, everybody got their little cliques and stuff like that. But when you build up your self-esteem like I did, baby, let me tell you something. That social anxiety is not even going to matter. All right. So then we have type 3, which is insecurity driven by perfectionists. Some of us have very high standards for everything we do. You may want the highest grades, the best job, the perfect figure, the most beautifully decorated apartment or home, neat and polite kids, or the ideal partner. Unfortunately, life does not always turn out exactly the way we want it, even if we work extra hard with it. All right, I want to talk about this because I think that this is a big one, because I don't know why I do have people, well, I have friends and close people, loved ones around me that think like this. Like, if it's not like perfect, it's bothering them. It makes them feel insecure. And my thing is, none of us were made to be perfect. I don't care what religion or what you believe in. None of us were made to be perfect. None of us were made to, yeah, we can work as hard to try to perfect something and do our best at it. And, like I said, work on it. But you can hold yourself at a high standard without being insecure. And a lot of times that's hard when you hold yourself at this standard. And don't get me wrong, it's times where I do things and I'm like, dang, yo, like, I could have did this better, or I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have did it this way. But I don't want to make myself feel, I don't know. I think that might be, it could be, I don't know. I don't think I'm a perfectionist, but I think that I want to call myself that, but I just do think that when I don't do things where I feel like I probably could have did better or should have did better, I do beat myself up a little bit more. Like, I'm a little bit more harder on myself, because I critique everything I do, especially when it comes to like me. I do a lot of public speaking. I have my shows. It's a lot of different things I have to enlighten me with the youth. So sometimes I'm always critiquing Shantae when it comes to that type of stuff. And I'm always looking at, yo, what could you have done better? Dang, did you even sound good? So that can cause an insecurity within me sometimes, but it's not going to cause an insecurity in me enough for me to stop doing what I'm doing and to stop pursuing my dreams and my goals and my passion and purpose in life. So that is something that is another different type of insecurity. People that are trying to be perfectionists. You guys got to chill out. You got to look at the good things that you already done or that you are doing. And you got to applaud yourself for that. A lot of times we don't do that either. It could be something small that we did that was positive, and somebody will say thank you, and you'll be like, for what? That was nothing. Like, no. You are supposed to applaud yourself for every little hurdle you get over, every piece of success that you get over. I don't care if you looked yourself in the mirror today and you told yourself you was beautiful and you couldn't do that for the last 5 days. You need to applaud yourself. Like, you guys, we have to start learning how to do that. Even like people I know when they graduate from community college, I'm not about to go to that graduation. Listen, you just got a degree. That's big. You just worked. Going to school is a whole different entity. That's a whole nother, that's a whole nother part of your life that you got to add on and add in and be consistent in. So power on. Sorry, y'all. Be proud about that. So perfectionists, you guys gotta relax a little bit. We can't be so hard on ourselves. Like I said, I don't consider myself a perfectionist, but I am hard on myself when I have my talks, when I watch my shows, just networking, anything. So now it's another big one that I want to talk about. And these are just things that I looked up some of these things, but some of these things are just, I'm talking, just from experience, just from life. Insecurity in a relationship. And I really, 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 really think that that's a big one. I think that that's a really big one. So says, what causes insecurity in a relationship? The question has weighed on most of our minds at some point. either because we found ourselves in the throes of insecure feelings or on an account of having a partner who projected their insecurities onto the relationship. In both cases, insecurity has the potential to complicate relationships. Very, very true. Let me finish reading this, then I'll talk a little bit about it. It said, that's why, much like jealousy, it is labeled as a negative emotion. However, not all insecurity is bad. It's a natural human emotion that pushes us to protect what we hold dear. It is when the intensity of insecurities grows to an extent that becomes the sole dominating force in a relationship that trouble starts. Often it's hard to recognize when you've crossed the fine line between normal and toxic insecurity. To identify the difference, you first need to understand the root causes of insecurity. And I think that insecurities in a relationship are big. I think that it comes from past relationships. I think it might have, a lot of times I think it comes from past relationships, dealing with somebody that you dealt with previous, and maybe you didn't heal from it, or maybe you never worked on it, and now you're in this relationship and you still insecure about it, or you might have been working on it, but you might still have triggers, and your partner, your new partner, may have done something that they didn't even think or try to do to make you feel insecure, but they did it anyways, and it triggered you. And they didn't know, but it triggered you from a past relationship or situation. So now you feeling insecure within your relationship. But that's something that you have to sit down and talk about. And I feel like if you are insecure in your relationship, a discussion is needed. Don't walk around holding that in, because you could be getting mad at your partner not even knowing what's going on. Why are you acting like this? Why? And then you say, oh, you making me feel insecure. Then your partner looking at you, well, like, how am I making you feel insecure? What did I do? So you guys, we have to learn to talk about those insecurities in a relationship. I know a lot of times some men, they'll talk about like, oh, women being insecure when a man look at another woman and this, that, and the third. Honestly, I feel like it's all about the respect and how you do it. You got some men that might look, everybody looks. I think that that's something that's just, we all have eyes. So you got some men that they do their little quick two look, some women, whatever. But then you got some men that's with a woman and they gawking and they turning their head and they putting rolling windows down and doing all of the, now that's disrespectful, and that can cause an insecurity within your relationship. As much as y'all might say is nothing, it can cause, especially if you came from a previous relationship where you dealt with a lot of cheating. But again, you also got to put the work in to do healing. You got to put the work in to talk it out, to figure out how you can be a better person, so those type of triggers won't trigger you, because you might have a partner who really cares about you, who really loves you, who really wants the best for you, but you are still triggered from some of your past relationships. And then you got some people that, like they said, when a partner projects their insecurities on you. So you're not insecure, but your partner's doing that. They have insecurities, and they might try to act like they don't have insecurities, but they're projecting them all on you to try to make it seem like you're the one with the insecurities, when in reality they are. You got to watch out for those type of people, because those type of people do not want to work on self. And you guys need to be around people that continuously want to work on self. I'm not saying it's easy, because I have my days, but I know where I'm trying to go. So at the end of the day, working on self is very important. And I don't want to portray my insecurities onto my partner. And if I do have any, I feel like, not in the beginning, but I feel like when you're talking to somebody, like getting to be in a relationship or even being in one, I feel like that should be a topic. Like, these are some of the insecurities that I deal with, and I don't want it to come out and you be surprised. And, that's something that should be talked about in the relationship in the beginning, because it can just come out of nowhere. Like I said, a trigger could happen. You could get jealous over nothing, things like that. And then, like they said, it's a thin line between normal and toxic insecurity. So, and then, okay, so then we have type 5, which I kind of talked about from the beginning, because I just gave I was giving an example of one of my insecurities, and it was the body. Type 5 is body image issues. So not being comfortable on one's skin is also one of the most causes of insecurities. If you're uncomfortable with your belly fat, for instance, you may have trouble being intimate with your partner. The lack of intimacy, especially if you're so core person doesn't know or can't understand the reason behind it. Again, you guys got to have that conversation. It can drive the two of you apart. Besides, when you don't view yourself as desirable, like you may tend to settle for partners who are less worthy of you. Let me say that again. When you do not view yourself as desirable, you may tend to settle for partners who are less worthy than you. And I know that I have done that in my past, speaking from experience. Naturally, this leads to unsatisfying relationships when you're continually compromising and lowering the bar of your standards. This in turn further fuels insecurity in a relationship. Insecurity in a relationship. That is so true. Again, body images. It's not just plus size girls that have issues with their bodies. It's skinny girls that have issues with their bodies. It's grown men that don't want to let go of that little bit of hair on the top of their head, knowing that they need to just cut it off and be a body. And most of us are grown and older. Us women already know most of y'all men coming with a body. A lot of men, but some men are insecure about that. So they might wear hats on their heads, or they might just, but that's so that can be an insecurity for some, because they were so used to looking this way and now they got to shave off their head. That's a whole nother chapter in their life for them. What's another body issue? Some people, the genitals down there, some people might feel like they stuff's too small and they can't deal with it, or they don't think that they're going to be able to get a woman, or, things like that. Body issues, or even with our faces. Like I have really bad, I have eczema. My family has a history of it. I'm not sure the exact eczema that I have, but sometimes my face breaks out on my forehead. When back some years before, it was bad. It was really bad. My whole face was bad. Like I was like, oh my God, what? And that was an insecurity for me. And I will tell you that, like, I used to be like, oh my God, I still loved me, but I'm not gonna lie, I had some insecurities about it. To this day, because I don't stress as much and deal with other things that I used to deal with, my face has gotten way better, way better. And sometimes it has little flare-ups and stuff like that, and I just deal with it and accordingly. But that was something that was a body image for me, a body issue for me as well. So that's something else that could be your skin, your height. Some people, they don't like that they tall. Some females, some guys don't like, that they short. Some females don't like that they're short. Even with like the boobs, the butt, all of those different type of things play into body issues, and looking at, other people and wishing that you had this and wishing that you had that, instead of just loving who you were created to be. Like, and that's how I try to live my life, to live who I was created to be. Like, I might drop a few pounds, but to be honest, I never want to be a complete skinny girl. Like, I don't. And that's what I choose, and that's what I prefer. And like I said, again, I get a lot of people that ask me, like, yo, you need to show me, like, how do you have this confidence? How do you do this? I don't know if you guys, I don't know when, sometimes I look at it as a compliment, and sometimes I'm like, am I not supposed to love myself? Am I not supposed to be bold? Am I not supposed to be unapologetic? Am I not supposed to look at myself and say, bitch, you are it? Like, like I said, I've been through the insecure stage of not loving myself. I can no longer go back to that stage of not loving myself when it comes to the physical, even the inner, because I speak a lot about the inner. The inner is definitely that's where all the insecurities are lying. They within. So it's time that we need to pull them shits out, and we need to start working on them, because it will only benefit us. I don't think that working on your insecurities is a negative thing. I think that it's a positive thing. I think that it will help us as a people, as a community. I think it'll help us grow. I think it'll help us be better people. So, we got to start working on those insecurities, maybe get help, talk to somebody. I'm going to read some. They were giving like examples of how you could work on your insecurities. For me, like I said, I just really had to like start looking at myself every day. I had to tell myself that like I was beautiful. I had to look at my body. I had to start wearing stuff. I had to start showing the fuck up for Shantae. And once I started showing up for Shantae, and once I started saying, oh, wait, girl. And then it's just like, that's it. And it took time. It wasn't easy. But once I really I don't know, it's not a remedy. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, some people be like, how do you do it? How do you do it? It's really not a remedy. I just decided to tap into me and who I really am, and say, all right, girl, you plus size. Now, what we about to do with this body, period. And that's it. And ever since then, like my bro said, I have improved. And you can see that from the outside as well. Because you know why? I improved in the inside. So because I improved in the inside, on that outside when I'm dressing and getting and going out and stuff like that, it's gonna shine. Because Shantae decided to work on Shantae and love on Shantae. Because nobody's not gonna, even my partner in my life or whoever I'm supposed to be with, they're not gonna love me more than I love myself. And I need to learn to love myself first. And how can I love all these other people and care about all these other people and help all these other people and use the gifts that I was given for, my time on earth? How can I use all of that and do what I need to do if I'm insecure about self and I choose not to love on Shantae or work on Shantae or even look at Shantae flaws that might cause those insecurities? See, I'm all around the board. I like to look at everything, what I need to work on, what I've got better at, where am I going, where am I at right now, all of that. And that is all a part of getting over your insecurities and becoming who you truly need to be in life, like truly need to be. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you supposed to be in life? What is your purpose? We cannot let none of these insecurities stop us from being who we need to be. Yes, we might have grew up in some rough homes. Yes, we might have grew up in the streets. Yes, we might have grew up with our parents maybe on crack, or we didn't have the best clothes, or we just felt low of ourselves, or we might have grew up being talked about and ranked on and flamed, or, maybe that was all happening. But at the end of the day, don't let that stop you from being who you need to be. Don't let that stop you from being the best version of yourself. We need our people to be the best versions of themselves. Once we are the best versions of ourselves with each other, do y'all know the type of movements that we can make? Do y'all know how far we can go and how much we can collab together? Because another part of insecurity is the jealousy, which they said, or feeling like I can't work with this person. This person gonna try to do better than me. We have to get out of that mindset. That's another form of being insecure. I don't mind working with nobody. What's up? Let's connect. Let's do this. Some way, somehow we can make it work. But if we keep being against each other because of insecurities, what y'all expect? We already got a lot of bad things going on within the urban communities. It's just going to keep prospering if we don't continue to prosper. If we as a people don't continue to prosper, work on our insecurities all around the board, because a lot of times too, what I was reading, it starts from youth. It starts from your home. It starts from what you went through in your household. A lot of those insecurities that we have started from that. So who's going to break those generational curses? Who's going to say, I don't want my kids to be insecure, or if they're insecure, I want them to know how to talk about it? Who's going to say that? Because if y'all looked at my thing for the emojis, because I always put emojis on the topics, I put like the shush one. I put the one where the mouth was zipped up at. You know why? Because a lot of times we hide those insecurities. A lot of times we cover them shits up. A lot of times we sweep them under the rug with makeup, far as the females, with dressing, with messing with mad dudes. Y'all covering up y'all insecurities with drinking and chilling and dressing up and making sure you got a fly haircut or making sure you got a bunch of money in your pocket that you can flash around. Guess what? Those insecurities are still right there. They didn't leave. So you could cover it up as much as you want. At the end of the night, you still got to look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself and say, you know what? What's an insecurity that I could work on today? It might be the same insecurity, but you just working on it till it's no longer an insecurity. We got to start thinking like that. I just really want, I don't know, this topic, I don't know, it just came into my heart. Even when I was thinking of one, last week, that it came right to me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about this because this is something that we as a people deal with, and we don't want to get help for it, or we want to ignore the fact that we're insecure about some shit, so we try to cover that shit up with some fly shit. It's still there. It's still there, you guys. Nate said, "Juice for the people." What's up, Nate? Where you at? And hey, Dad, I love you too. So then we have another one, which is a type 6, which is abuse, which can trigger patterns of insecurity. So that's another thing that can cause it in a relationship and just being insecure overall. It says the answer to this question would be incomplete without the mention of abuse when it comes to insecurities within a relationship. Suffering physical or emotional abuse, either as a child or in your past relationships, can be a crushing experience. It breaks your spirit and it changes you at a fundamental level. These changes alter the way you view yourself, often leading to a dented self-esteem and no confidence in yourself. All of these factors when you make you vulnerable, it makes you insecure, not just in a relationship, but in every aspect of life. So that's something else too that I have personal experience with, like abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. That's real. That definitely will make you insecure. Ask me how I know. That was part of what I had to go through to be where I'm at now. That's a part of my story. When I had to go through that, when I was getting bruised up and this, that, and the third, and just a lot of things. That was a part of my story. That was a part of when Shantae was insecure, when Shantae didn't love herself, when Shantae thought that a nigga beating on her meant love. Ain't no way. Because now where I'm at, it's a no-go. I already know, and I know that that's not love. I know that that was a part of me being insecure and maybe thinking that nobody else wanted me and that I can't be with anybody else. Because, girl, get out of here with your big self. That's the type of things you'll have yourself believing. Words have power. Words have power. What I tell my daughter all the time, what you say has power. Watch what you say about yourself. Watch how you talk bad about yourself. Watch how you down yourself, even if you joking. Watch it. Because those words have a lot of power to it. And once you keep saying stuff bad about yourself and talking about your body or talking about how because you got shot down from one person didn't want to give you an opportunity and you keep saying, I'm not going to do this or this never going to happen or I can't do this or I look ugly or whatever it is, guess what you're going to start to believe? You're going to start to believe that. You're going to start to say, yo, this is me. And then you know how much harder that is to come up out of? Do you know how much harder that is? Now you got to work 10 times harder to become a better person and to keep working on the best version of yourself. So let's try, you guys, not to down ourselves so much. Let's try not to always look in the mirror and try to look at every little damn flaw about ourselves. None of us are perfect. None of us. I don't give a fuck if you work out in a gym 5 days a week. None of us are perfect. None of us. Physically, mentally, emotionally. We work on things to be greater. We work on those things to be a better person. But none of us are perfect. So nobody cannot judge anybody or cast a stone or when, like I said, with the whole abuse thing, that's just the whole thing. That's a whole entity within itself that can cause insecurities. It's so many underlying things. Like that's a topic on itself. And we have talked about abuse, so I'm not going to too much go into that. But that's a whole nother thing underneath, underneath the umbrella. So we talked about that. So then we have some childhood experiences. Like I said, that's where a lot of our insecurities come from. So it says research shows that our adult behavior stems from what we experienced as kids. And I'll say that again. Research shows that our adult behavior stems from what we experience as kids. If one is extremely insecure, it can be traced back to one's younger days or childhood experiences. The person might have suffered trauma at the hand of a toxic parent, or seen their parents experience some trauma, such as a divorce, which can become the basis of their insecurities in adult relationships. I know for a lot of people in the Black community, it was not so much divorce. It was more like single family homes, this parent on drugs, this parent in jail. I'm running the streets. I'm chilling outside. I'm learning from the hood atmosphere. This is who's raising me. My parents going back and forth, or I just got a mom in the house. I ain't see daddy in years. So I know that's things that with our childhood experiences, that's a lot of things that we deal with. And that can definitely take us to a point of insecurity in our adulthood. I know it has for me. I know certain things that I grew up with in my life definitely has made me insecure at one point. Definitely. Like I said, from not loving myself, like I really didn't love myself. I really thought low of myself. I really thought that I wasn't this pretty, beautiful female. I really thought that I was just a butter boy and that's it. Like y'all can say that about myself now, but I really thought that. I really just thought that this is it. Like, and these are the dudes I gotta settle for. Not in 2021. I know better. I know that I don't have to settle. I know that a dude flashing their money. Well, I've been through that. That was always corny to me, but I know that that's not gonna help me. So, childhood experiences, definitely a big one. And like I brought up earlier, growing up, your friends ranking on you, whatever. Not maybe they might not even be doing it to hurt you. Back then that's what it was. Nowadays, it's hard to rank on people. Y'all already know how this society is with everything that's going on with the new world, the new generation, the children, the social media is definitely different than when we grew up. So some of those friends when we were growing up, they probably didn't have no idea that they were making you feel insecure. They probably were just joking around like y'all normally do, playing around like y'all normally do. And you went home and had the greatest breakdown because your friends was talking about you and calling you names. And although they were doing it for jokes, it was really hurting you deep down inside. So that's why I said, like, we never know what people are dealing with in our life. And we need to kind of be a little bit more gentle to that. So yeah, childhood experiences, like not growing up with a father in the home. That was trauma for me because my dad is supposed to be my first love. And at one point, he wasn't around. So it kind of shaped me into dealing with the dudes that I dealt with in my life. And I'm like, damn, like how? You feel me? I'm like, it could have been a different, it might have been different if Pops was around. So, those things do shape you. Your childhood experiences do shape you into who you can be or who you are today in life. Then it was another one, which was, we already talked about abuse. I don't know why I had that twice. But it did say that it can break your spirit and changes you at a fundamental level. These changes alter the way that you view yourself, often leading to a denser self-esteem and no confidence in yourself. I think I read that. So those are some of the different type of insecurities that that I did research and I looked up and I did a little like, let me just see, because I know that a lot of times when we talk about insecurities, it's always like the physical. And like I said, I have experience with the physical aspect of being insecure. But what about the internal things? What about the relationships we're in? What about what causes those insecurities? What about the fact that we need to talk about them with our partners and our other halves, or maybe even our friends, if it's something that we are insecure about, and we may be working on those. Like you could really be working on your insecurities and you're not at that place though where you need to be. So you still, you still might be triggered. Somebody still might say something that might get to you. It's okay to have that conversation with your loved ones to say, listen, I'm going through this. I'm dealing with this. I'm working on it. So, I just appreciate it. If it's not, don't say it. If I'm dealing with issues with my weight, please don't sit up here and X, Y, and Z. And a real friend or whatever, they're going to understand that because they're like, you know what? They're trying to get over something. And even if you don't know their full story, They have a story. And obviously, they're trying to get over that insecurity for a reason. So I just feel like we have to look at what makes us insecure. Start with self. Stop looking at everybody else's insecurities. Stop judging other people, because at the end of the day, listen, none of us perfect, but at the end of the day, when you sitting up there and you focus on the next person and what they doing or how they look or how they body look or this, that, and the third, or they just always too happy or they know too many people. That you don't know if that person that social, they was an introvert and they always kept to themselves, but they always wanted to be a person, and they had a problem with it, and now they have learned to be a social person and network and be around people. You don't know if that's something that person went through. Now they are social, they're lovable, they're able to step out in the crowd and be fine. Who are we to say something about that person? Who are you to say something about that person? And then, it says, how do you stop being so insecure? It says, and this is, I truly believe it too, working and improving your self-esteem and practicing self-love is a good place to start, because insecurity is often triggered by internal factors rather than being influenced by external ones. So, like I said, it starts within. Those insecurities, a lot of them, they grow in us because we don't deal with them. So they just grow in us. Like I said, we put on a facade, we put on this thing, and inside we dealing with X, Y, and Z. It's time to start working on X, Y, and Z, y'all. How many of you guys have dealt with something that you have been insecure with for a long time and you are still dealing with it? Let's be real. For those that are tuning in, how do you deal with your insecurities? What have you been insecure about that you have worked on and can say, you know what? I was able to get over this hump. Some people have insecurities with talking and speaking. I don't, because that's part of my life. He said VX. Man, you stupid. No, for real though, like, we got to look at that. We got to work on ourselves, yo. Like, I'm so big on that. Enlighten me. Like, as much as I have tapped so much into my Talk with TZ shows, I have not tapped into, my enlighten me stuff that I want to do it with the youth. But I'm telling you, and when I do a lot of public speaking as well. But what is my logo, y'all? Anybody that watches my shows know I have my Talk with TZ logo. But what does enlighten me say? Enlighten me says believing in yourself is where it starts. So believing that those insecurities could come up out of you, it starts with you. It starts with you. Believing in yourself. Believing that you could be better than yesterday. Believing that you do not have to be the same person that you were 5 years ago. Believing that the reason that those people not in your life is for a reason. Believing that door was shut was for a reason. Instead of becoming insecure about it, look at it and say, it's a reason that this is happening, and I'm going to trust the process. And I know it's hard a lot of times to trust the process, but we have to trust the process. But not only trust the process, while you trust in that process, you got to work on your stuff too. Instead of letting these things make us insecure. And like I said, if you're in a relationship and you're having insecurities within your relationship, that needs to be talked about. Like I always say, I'm all for having a conversation. Because if I'm going through something, like I said, and if my partner don't know that, how the hell can I get mad at my partner? Or if my partner does know that and they're continuing to just shoot me down and not, add positivity to the situation of me working on my insecurities, then we have an issue. Abuse, again, that's a hard thing to get over. Y'all men and women that have been in some type of physical, verbal, or emotional abuse, a lot of times you gotta treat people like us gentle, because we done been through. That's a, like I said, that's a whole nother, topic to touch on. But you gotta be gentle with us a little bit. And people that's always saying sorry, that's a That's not a good thing. And I know that I do that as well a lot. I'm always saying sorry. I don't even need to say sorry, but I'm always saying sorry. That's not a good thing.
Hey, hi.
How you doing?
How are you? You holding it down. I just seen you talking, girl.
Oh, listen, I had to. Like, I gotta hold it down for talking Teasy because I'm Teasy.
Yes.
I gotta hold it down, but you know, I don't know, my spirit, my heart wanted to talk about, you know, insecurities because, like I said, it goes on a lot. It brings jealousy, it brings envy, it creates fake drama, it creates people thinking that they're better than the next person, and at the end of the day, I guarantee you, like I said, when you go home at night and you look in the mirror, you're looking at all of those insecurities. Once you take off the makeup, the hair, the fitted hats, the nice outfits, the work, you know, you came from work, you went to work, you got to dress. Once you take all of that off, guess who you looking at? Yourself in the flesh. So at the end of the day, we have to learn to deal with our insecurities. We can't continue to let it bombard our life. We cannot continue to let it keep taken from us. We cannot, because we do it. Like I said, there's fear, especially like people that people that are trying to be on a level of success. You know what type of insecurities? Cause I know. Oh, she didn't. Okay. You know what type of insecurities that can bring. Oh, you might got to mute it, Tiffany, until you're ready to talk. But it's a lot of insecurities that come with that. I don't know. I'm trying to do my business. I'm trying to do my program. I'm trying to do these shows. You know, sometimes even when for me, to be honest, since I've been on this journey, I get a lot of support. I get a lot of people that support what I'm doing. I'm very blessed to have friends and the viewers and the fans, and I'm blessed for that because I always hear a lot of people saying they don't have that. Nobody supports them, this, that, and the third. I feel like I have that, and don't get me wrong, it's people sometimes they're supposed to come on my shows, they might not come, but at the end of the day, I try to look at it as, you know what, you never know what someone's going through. And that's how I try to look at it. Sometimes it might be a little frustrating, but then I'll be like, you know what, TZ, you got to keep it going. And you have to keep doing what you are doing. I'm not going to sit up here and, you know, make myself insecure about my shows. I can't do that. I just got to look at what I do.
You are the show, boo. You are the show. That's why it's like, you gotta keep on going, whether people there or not. And this day today is your day. You feel me? We don't know why it happens, but it's meant for you to talk today. And I know I'm out because it's my daughter's birthday.
Happy birthday, little mama.
I'm at Nomad, still making a sacrifice for my boo because why? I love you. This is our day.
Thank you.
You're welcome, boo. But you hitting the topic. Insecurities is definitely needed to be talked about right now.
Yes.
Treat others how you want to be treated. That's just facts. Because some people might not even have insecurities until people start doing certain things to somebody. Like say if somebody not even really telling you in a relationship and they're not saying you look beautiful today or this, that, and the third. Like they're not hearing something from you enough. It seems like things is changing. And it's like don't forget who I am. You feel me? Like, don't forget who I am or whatever. We all need reassurance sometimes. You definitely don't want to hear somebody complimenting somebody else before they even complimenting you. You know what I mean? So that can make an insecurity. That could definitely make an insecurity come about. And I feel like some people get mixed up with like some people say, "Oh, you're jealous,"
or you are insecure.
Yeah, like it's far from being jealous. Like you know how people like you don't gotta be jealous about that girl. I'm not worried about her. Maybe I'm worried about you. It's about what you doing, or it's about the situation. No jealousy. I want respect.
Yep, exactly. And I think that's a big thing in relationships when it comes to insecurities. Like when your other half is never telling you that you look good, when your other half is never saying like, damn, you know, what's up, handsome, or you come in the house from alone, you know, Those things are so important in a relationship to uphold that secureness between the two. It's a difference between your girl being jealous over another female and my man making me feel insecure about that female. Like, if you're not telling me I'm beautiful,
They'll be
you
like,
can't say
why
that
you
to
jealous of?
me.
Why you worried about some other female? Excuse me, I'm not worried about her. I'm far worried about her. It's about you. Can you make sure you change your ways? That's not
Right,
what you're supposed to be doing.
right.
They think that is minor. Some people think that is just minor. Now, how about if I do a you on you? I don't. Some people need a you on you done to them because they can't feel those little emotions or the little things that pop up. I am a person. Nobody want to hear, oh, she got a fat butt or stuff like that. Like, we
But see,
are
I talked
women.
about that earlier where I said that, we all look, well, I think men look more than women, to be honest,
Right.
but they say we all look, whatever, we all have eyes to look. And I said this earlier on the show that, yeah, we have eyes to look, but sometimes some men are disrespectful with the way that they look at. If you looking at a girl that walked by with a fat ass, okay, take your look.
Look, but don't
But for
talk
the
out loud and make some
the
insecurities
thing is,
rise.
though, when you start to do other stuff like turning all the way around, when you putting the window down, when you just like in awe, like you never seen a big ass before, and you with your lady, and if your lady, if y'all not in that type of relationship to where it's like, okay, we could all look at the ass and we could try to do whatever with that ass. Some people, they into that. But if you're not into that and your partner is with you and they don't know how to respectfully look at another female ass, if that's what they go do, then it is a problem and it can cause an insecurity within your relationship. But then what would a man say? That's your fault because you're insecure? No. Yes, you don't know what she might be insecure from if she never talked to you about that. You don't know if she came from a relationship of a man cheating and that conversation. You don't know the things that may trigger that situation. So yes, I think that that definitely can cause insecurities within a relationship. I think it's a lot of things. Like, and I also think it just depends on the relationship and the two people at hand. That's why it's good to work on the insecurities so you guys don't feel that way about each other. It said, how do I stop being jealous and insecure? Invest in building trust, honest, and open communication. Let's say this again because this is a problem that we have. Invest in building trust, honesty, and open communication in your relationship to stop being jealous and insecure. I think that those are a lot of things that people lack in relationships. I'm not saying all relationships, but it happens more times than less. If you have trust, if you are honest, if you have open communication, if you understand different insecurities from your past, and you guys are dealing with eternity, and you're able to say, listen, I'm gonna work with you on that because that's what relationships are about anyways. I'm gonna work with you on that. I'm gonna help you get better at that so we can be better. I'm not gonna throw you to the dirt and be like, well, you need to deal with that insecurity on your own. I'm not gonna do that to you because you're my other half. And for our relationship to be where it needs to be, I'm going to help you on that. But I cannot help you with your insecurities if you don't tell me and if you don't say nothing and if you're only getting mad when you're triggered about those insecurities. How can I step up and help you to be better and you're not telling me so I can help you? So I try to look at like, on that aspect. And then, like I said, you have some relationships or people in a relationship where they are very insecure, but they portray it on you and act like you're the one
for real.
All the insecurities. And let me tell you that I know about that. I dealt with the person really being an insecure one, you feel me? And tried to pour all of that on me. And that shit spilled into me internally. And I had to learn to love Shantae all over again. Don't ever let nobody spill their insecurities over into yours. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care if it's a friendship. I don't care if it's a family member. I don't care what it is. Do not allow people to pour their insecurities over into you, because you know why? I'm pretty sure we got enough of things we got to deal with internally. We don't need somebody else pouring their insecurities on us, and now that's something else we got to deal with. So I think that,
you on fire, girl. You on fire.
Because insecurities is really big. And like I said before, like I had a friend, like he gonna ask me, like, why do I be showing my skin? What do you mean? Do you know I used to hate my body? I'm gonna show this skin. You're gonna, when I go out, when I dress up, when I go out, like I said, when I go out and all of that, oh yeah, you might see a little skin. You know why? Because Shantae did not like her body for so long. So I love it. I embrace my body. I love me. I don't give a fuck. Belly
About what nobody gotta say, like, cause it's not about them. It's about you.
Tell me different. And
it's about you.
Say, oh, I don't care. Because guess what? If you have something to say about me and what I'm doing or my body, you have an insecurity within yourself, and you need to work on it. Don't project that on me, because I'm secure in myself. Don't ever try to. That's why I said people don't know how long or how far people have come from their insecurities. Like, who are you to try to drag that person back there?
And people pick and choose who they want to, let it slide with or whatever. Like, nah, it ain't. Anybody could be whoever they want to be. Some people want to pick, like, oh yeah, she looked like this or she looked like that. Nah, it's not up to them. It's up to you.
Right. So it does say, like, some tools to overcome, like some different tools to overcome insecurities. Like, you could reach out to friends and family, but that's another thing. A lot of people say this too, and this is true again in our community, and we got to start doing better, you guys. Like, if I come to you in confidence, if I come to you and I talk to you and I trust you and I tell you about some insecurities that I'm dealing with, and what you gonna do with that? You don't take that and throw that in somebody's face. You don't take that and make jokes or, oh, whatever, girl, ain't nothing wrong. Like, you don't do that. When somebody feel like they could confide in you and come to you and talk to you, because sometimes it is a distraction and it can't help with what you're going through. When you got, other people around you sometimes, getting feedback from people you trust, from your loved ones. Preserve yourself and keep working towards your goals. Be willing to try different strategies if necessary. You gotta be willing to keep working towards that goal. That shit ain't easy, y'all. And I know it's not easy. I'm walking on that path of success. Sometimes I'm mad at myself some days, like, damn, you could have did this or you could have did that. But I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to keep it pushing, because I know at the end of this journey, I'm gonna be able to say, you know what, Shantae, you lived out your purpose. You did what you had to do, regardless of what insecurities you had. Those insecurities help you to become who you are now. Those insecurities help me to start and enlighten me. Those insecurities, when them youth come into this program, oh, you best believe we gonna be learning about all the different aspects of self. I want them to be able to pull out like the motherfucking Power Rangers when it comes to what? Oh, you going through this? Activate. Let me help you. You going through this? Activate. Blue Ranger. Let me help you. Like, it's important. And it's something in the Black community that is, to me, is not looked at as important as it should be. Those insecurities are real, but they only gonna get better if you try to work on them. You're only gonna get better if you try to work over those humps and those hurdles and the things that you're going through. Like I said before, you know how long it took me to look in the mirror to even say I love myself and I'm beautiful? Even when I used to get dressed up, and I know people like that too, they get all dressed up and nice, but deep down inside, oh no, baby girl, they hurting. Oh no, baby boy, you got a fresh ass cut. Yeah, everything. Chris edge up everything. And deep down inside, they are hurting. Deep down inside, they are insecure as hell. And again, I'm not talking to anybody in a negative way. I'm talking because I want our people to get better when it comes to dealing and working on our insecurities. Do not let your insecurities be what stop you from moving forward, from building relationships, from networking, from making bonds, from teaching your children how, if they have insecurities, how to work with them. I'm going to keep it real with y'all and be personal. My oldest, she deals with that. It breaks my heart because my daughter beautiful as hell. Beautiful. And it breaks my heart when she sits in the mirror and she talks about her flaws. And I'm like, stop. I will not listen to you continuously try to talk bad about yourself. Let's look at the positives. Let's look at what's good about your physical or whatever the issue is at hand. I refuse to let my kids, because I know what it's like. And I can't protect them from everything. But if I can help them through some of these things, if I can help them if they feeling insecure about something, I'm going to do that. Because when I was feeling insecure about things, I didn't get that help. Maybe I didn't speak up about it. I was young. I didn't know. I just knew that I felt like I didn't love myself. And I felt like nobody was going to like me. And I felt like I was a fat girl. And I felt like that I was just ugly. And I had all these emotions as a little girl. My dad not in the house. I'm picking the wrong motherfucker in my life to be with. I'm doing this. Nobody was there to say, Shantae, pick your head up. You better than that. Until I got older and started tapping into other people. And they could see what I was going through. I ain't even have to say it. That's some real shit. And they would tell me, yo, like I said, I could have been dressed up. And I know it's somebody, I'm not going to say her name, but once she just seen right through me. She seen right through that fake shit. She seen it. I call it fake because I was still insecure. But on the outside, you didn't know. She seen right through that outside shit, that material. She seen through that. And she pulled me to the side and she gave me a technique to use. And I use it to this day. I use it with my daughter. I use it with other people. And I said it on my show plenty of times about looking at yourself in the mirror, about really staring, not no 2-second, let me just, no. Looking at yourself in the mirror, just like doing an examination. And yeah, you got to look at the bad or the things that you need to work on, but you should not constantly be sitting up here judging yourself in a negative way and talking bad about yourself and putting all these negative things within you internally in yourself. Because now that you don't put all this shit in your head to think negative about yourself, guess what that's doing? That's stopping you from moving forward. That's stopping you from pushing. That's stopping you from pressing. That's stopping your kids from looking at the strength that they mom and dad, the strength of who you really could be. You got to be an example for them. And if you have all these insecurities within yourself, how can you be that example for your children? How can you show them to stand strong and be strong and understand that things gonna happen in life, but don't let that stop you? That things are not always gonna go your way. That life is not perfect. But you could be who you need to be, who you are meant to be. And everybody's level of success is different. Some people level of success is just for the money. Some people level of success is to leave legacies. Some people just want to be successful to be popping. Some people level of success is having a nice little home and retiring with their retirement money and taking care of their family. And you know what? That is all right. But when we got all these insecurities within us, when we got people around us helping us be insecure, that's a tough pill to swallow. But you got to swallow it. And you got to understand it. And you got to work on it. We cannot just keep saying like, oh, I need to do this. Or you know what? I feel so insecure about this. Let it out. I'm a firm believer in letting it out. I am very firm on that. I don't give a fuck if you got to scream to the top of your lungs. Do it. I don't care if you need to talk for an hour. do it. Whatever first step you need to take to look at yourself in the mirror and be okay with you, not just outside, but inside as well. Whatever it takes. And I don't mean in a negative way. You got to get to that point where you look at yourself and really are confident and say, you know what? That door might shut, but I know another one gonna open. You know what? This person might have did this, but I know that it's gonna be greater later. What's up, girl? She said, I used to do that, but now you can't tell me anything because I'm a queen, but it was verbal abuse that caused me to feel that way. I love me, and I definitely tell myself that every day. Seriously, like, I feel you, baby girl, because like I said, mine was more verbal and physical, but I know what that shit is like. And I know what it's like when you have all these things being said so much about you, like, and you're being told this, and you're this, you're ugly, oh, bitch, you big, nobody gonna want you, or bitch, you this, or you that, or man, ain't nobody gonna care about you. That shit really starts to play in our head, and we really start to believe it because we didn't love ourselves as much as we might have thought we did, because that person just made us insecure, and for so long we stayed with that person, and for so long we dealt with so much. So that's another thing with timing. We stay in these long ass relationships, and then we gotta fucking rebuild ourselves up. We gotta rebuild ourselves over. We gotta take all those insecurities that came from that previous relationship and try not to carry them over into the next. You know how hard that is? But it's done. It needs to be done. I loved everyone else more than myself. Yes, because that's a coping mechanism for like, what? No, fuck that. I gotta love Shantae more. I cannot continue to pour and pour and pour and pour, and I'm not being poured into correctly, or I'm not even pouring into myself correctly. How dare I? And a lot of times we look at it as we have to be there for everybody else. But yo, what about yourself, yo? And I had to learn that. I had to learn to be there for Shantae. Fuck trying to please everybody else. I'm not perfect, because you know what? My purpose in life and my walk in life is to please and to help and to be that light in the darkness. That is my purpose. So a lot of times that's what I felt like I had to do. But in the midst of trying to do that and trying to understand who I was and why I was put on this earth, it's a lot of things that helped me, that brought me down. It's a lot of things that I was still smiling, but dealing with internally. And every day, people like us are dealing with it every day. Every day. From our children. Please check on your children. Please, parents, if you're not having conversation with them, a lot of times we want to give our kids freedom. We want to let them be on their phones. You know, yo, have a conversation with them. Just ask them, what's up? What do you love? What do you love about yourself? What's something that you don't like about yourself? What's something that you struggle with? Let's have these conversations. You know why? Because I didn't have those conversations growing up. Those conversations weren't, nobody came to me and said that to me. Nobody came to me and asked me, Shantae, what do you love about yourself? What's something that you're struggling with, Shantae? So now I try to have those conversations with youth and children, my children and other youth as well. And like I always say, I'm unapologetically a Black woman. So I'm all about the urban community, and I will always be about that. She said, I had to learn the hard way, but lesson learned. Definitely, because I was wondering why I can help others, but not myself. I'm raising a queen, or I'm raising a queen, had to change the mold, and she definitely learning and taking heed to it. Right. And I respect that, because that's what it's all about. It's a new generation coming in. We're not I'm still working on things. I'm still learning on working with, my credit, and it's not too bad, but it's things I need to work on, and I'll work on it. I might be up and down with it. I know that's something I struggle with. I know, and I could be real with it. But so at the end of the day, the fact that I know I'm struggling with that, but I know that I want better for my children, it's time to start tapping into some financial places me and my daughter could go to together. It's all about changing the atmosphere. Our kids don't have to grow up how we grew up. They don't have to. And if we as women, especially as women, we deal with a lot. We deal with a lot. And I know you men do too, but I can speak from as a woman. We deal with so much. We hold it down. We deal with these insecurities. We deal with work stuff. We deal with relationship stuff. And I'm not saying that the men don't deal with all of these things, but I'm just talking as a woman. And if we know what insecurities and being insecure could do to us, we got to start tapping in and talking to these younger kids about that, because that shit will travel with you into your adulthood. Look at some of us. Look at all of us. Ain't no some. Every last person that's watched this, been watching this, anybody I know, everybody has been through something that made them feel insecure. We even, like I said, we might even still be dealing with things that make us feel insecure. Some of us don't want to be real about it, and some of us do. And I'm up here being 100% real. I love to be real on Talk with TV shows. I don't care, because you know what? Like I always say, my story, the things I've been through, I know it's helping somebody. I know when I speak, that shit is not in vain. I know what I was put on this earth to do. I know. So when I'm talking and when I'm saying things, take heed to it. I'm not perfect at all. But at the end of the day, I know that what we need to do better as a community, as a unit. I know that. And I just want you guys to know that too. And I just want you guys to understand how much being insecure can really like just bring us like this, how it can really stop everything moving. And I know and I see our people doing better now. So many businesses, people spreading out, they venturing out, they taking that fear and they saying, man, I ain't scared of you. And they doing what they need to do. And that's awesome. So to keep that going, we just got to keep working on the insecurity aspect and that fear. Fuck them insecurities, because you're better than that. You're better than what your mind is telling you. Do not continue to speak negative about yourself. Don't do it. Don't settle. Don't say this is it. This is who I am. And a lot of times we do that. I'm guilty of that. This is who I am. This is who I am. No, the fuck it's not. Do better. I deal with, and I think a lot of us do, procrastination. Oh my God. And I have gotten better at it, but I'm still have a lot of work to do. But guess what? It's something that I recognize. And that's one of the first steps, is recognizing it. Because if you don't recognize it, how you going to work on it? Or if you know that it's going on and you just sit there, how you going to get better? How? It's not going to happen. Mondell said, oh, she said, girl, I will definitely listen. Like-minded people. I never mind sitting in a room with somebody that know more than me. Is you shitting me? As my cousin would say. Like, I love to be in a room with people that might know a little bit more than me. Like, because guess what? I'm trying to learn, yo. If I could learn and I could network and that could bring me to another level, what makes you think I'm not going to do it? That's why I said when I walk in a room and also realize I'm one of them people, like, I could tell, like, I could feel energy so fucking well. I could tell when a chick hating. I could tell when a chick is insecure when I walk through. Let me tell you something. Nobody gonna make Shantae feel insecure about herself when it comes to her looks. Never. And I'm not saying that people do, but I could tell. Some people, I know they like, damn, this girl got sure do. And I look good doing it. So, you know, hold on. All right. Let me read this. I'm just saying, like, I could feel that energy, but that energy is not going to throw TZ off. That energy is not going to make me feel less of myself. You know why? Because like I said in the beginning, it took me years to get where I'm at right now. And sometimes I got to tilt sometimes I wish I had a crown. Sometimes my crown might fall. It don't even fall. It might tilt a little bit. But then I got to straighten that shit the fuck back up, because I got to remember who I am. I have to remember why I was put on this earth. And I got to say, this shit is bigger than you, Shantae. This is bigger than you. And once I remember that this is bigger than me, and once I'm able to probably look at myself, or shit, sometimes you got to talk to yourself. Sometimes you got to tell yourself about yourself so you can work on yourself. Sometimes you got to tell yourself about yourself so you can work on yourself. We don't like to do that. We don't like to do that. It's hard looking at the ugliness of us, but it's so vital. It's so vital. It's vital. All that ugly stuff within gonna keep harboring. That's all a part of insecurities too. It builds more things. It creates more things. Yo, let's create more positive, not negative, within ourselves. It's a lot that we got to deal with on the outside of the world. Like a man says, hold on, I'm gonna read this. Like a man says a lot of times, when we come in the house, we want our woman to be our peace. We want our female to be our peace. Because we as men, especially as black men, y'all deal with so much on the outside world, and I love the black man. And I love you guys. But just like y'all talk about peace and wanting that peace when y'all come home, females and males, you need to want that peace within yourself. You have that peace within yourself, you might be able to, might be some things you got to deal with. But when you come home, you'll be able to have that peace, and you'll be able to get that peace from your other half. So he said, we as men have to pay attention to those things. We have to understand who we're dealing with. One can only respect the person who is willing to open up. Rondell, I definitely agree with you. One can only respect the person who is willing to open up. I cannot help you if you don't open up. And you know what that could be from? Past relationships or past friendships, or you might have opened up to your family and shit just went left. It might be hard for that person to open up. You never know why somebody doesn't want to open up, but it's important to. So although it might be hard, it's important, y'all. We got to look at, life is not easy, but we got to look at what's vital and what's important. And for real, like, this going to change my life. This is going to help change me as a person. I have to get over that. Kai, what's up, Kai? Kai said, insecurity can hinder your growth. Very much. That's what I've been talking about. Having these insecurities, you guys, it can hinder us. It can, it will really stop you from where you need to go because of what you're thinking within self. Because of how you feel about yourself. Why should you talk bad about yourself? Why should you let the things that you've been through in life continue to harbor and mess up what you have going on for your future? Why should you allow your kids to not know and learn how to work on self when they're feeling insecure about something? We have to work on these things, my people. We have to get it together. Like, for real. Straight up teasy, I be bullshitting too, but I had to learn to make it happen. Seriously, like, a lot of times I get mad at myself. I'm like, Shantae, you could have did something more productive today. Even if I did something productive, I might be like, but now I'm learning, like, listen, I could do the smallest thing. I did something today that went towards what I'm doing in my life. So yes, it is. But honestly, I think all of us deal with some type of procrastination. Like, I'm not going to even, like, at some point, sometime we all kind of deal with it, but it is something that, too, procrastination, that shit will stop you. Trust me. I feel like, even though for me, like, and a lot of people I know, like, procrastination, I work best under procrastination. Like, what? I'm getting it done. I'm getting an A on them papers. I'm doing this shit right. Whatever it is, like, I'm going to handle it. It's going to come out right. But I also feel like I would be so much further in life if certain things I didn't procrastinate on, or have fear, or have insecurities about. It's a lot of things that if I didn't have insecurities about, it would have been so different in my life. But listen, my lifestyle I grew up in, where I grew up at, how I grew up, all of that shit factored into how I was growing up and who I was becoming. But now I can really smile and be like, yes. And that's that. What's up, IKEA? She said, yes. I'm just like I just want our people to do better, and I want us to tap into self. A lot of us are just not tapped into self. A lot of us are tapped into the material shit. A lot of us are tapped into the outer, the external, not the internal. When are we gonna be tapped into the internal? That material shit gonna come. But when we gonna be tapped in, that material shit is just a facade, like I said. Don't get me wrong, we all like to get dressed up and go out and look nice. Let's do it. Because we look good when we do it too as a people. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But if that's all you're working on, yo, I gotta maintain this image. I gotta maintain this image. I gotta be this. I gotta look this way. I gotta be the flyers. But deep down it, but when you look at your soul is fucking tore into pieces. It's time to work on some stuff. It's time to say, yo, you know what? Let me take all this jewelry off. Let me take this weave off. Let me take whatever off. Let me take these clothes off, whatever. Let me look at myself for real. Let me look within. Hi, Kia.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hi, boo.
What's going on?
Nothing, just speaking some gems and facts to the fans tonight.
What we talking about today?
Oh, you haven't been listening, girl.
I just got.
I've been talking about insecurities, and we just been talking about insecurities, all about it, from relationships to just ourselves, to bettering ourselves, to recognizing that we have insecurities, dealing with them, how insecurities are stopping us from moving forward in life and being who we need to be in life. So I'm just on some real life shit tonight. And we always are, but I just want our people to understand, like, we have to start working on those insecurities, because it's only going to make us greater and better people when we tap into those insecurities and say, you know what, I need to work on that.
No, that's a fact. People got to be real with themselves, though, to admit what they need to work on, though. If they're willing to fix those insecurities, because when you have insecurities, it could ruin a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff, whether it's family, friendship, relationship, even with your own kids, being a parent. You know what I'm saying, like,
yep,
insecurities play a big part in life to me. And ain't nobody got time to be insecure. Like, bury that word. To me, insecure, however you want to phrase it, it means pause, because it pauses everything. So let loose and get over it, and just
you gotta work on it. You gotta
just
But it starts from recognizing that shit, and then working on it. Like, it's never gonna get better. And like we were talking about relationships, like your partner, if you have an insecurity, you gotta be open about that and tell your partner, like, listen, this is something I am still working on within myself. So your partner can learn how to be gentle with you when it comes to that certain issue or whatever it is that you do have an insecurity about, until you get to that point where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm good on this. Some people, they get mad when they're in relationships and their partner, you ain't tell your partner nothing, but then you triggered. Now you cussing your partner out. But did you tell your partner did you have a conversation with them? Did you sit down with them? Did you say, listen, these are things I'm dealing with? You have to be open. But then I also talked about how sometimes people are scared to open up because they have done that before, and that has caused more insecurities than enough when they were just trying to get help with their insecurities. So it's like so many different things that play into this, the whole aspect of being insecure. Or even when we talked about portraying your own insecurities, or you could be with a person, or you might have a friend that's insecure as fuck, but they might not act like it, but they portray all their insecurities on you. Or even being in a relationship.
What type of insecurities you talking about? Like looks, or?
Yeah, like they could be like, girl, down, like that don't look like, you could feel like, you know, you might look nice inside, and somebody, girl, that don't look, because it's something that they would be scared to do, because it's something that they don't have the confidence to do. That's an insecurity on their end. Unless unless they really don't look right, then I get that part. But
hey, look, Oprah said angry people are upset with themselves. I believe that.
Say that again, Kia.
Angry people are upset with themselves.
Yep.
You ever
Yep.
seen somebody is just always mad for no reason? Like, what is your problem? Did you wake
Yep.
up on the wrong side of the bed? No, ain't no such thing as the wrong side of the bed. You got the right side, the left side, and the foot of the bed.
I be like, let's try this again. Like, yo, you okay?
Whatever side you get up and get out of should not piss you off. You're angry within yourself.
Yep. And it's something that you're harboring or that you haven't dealt with, and you need to deal with that because it can affect those around you as well. Like it can affect your loved ones around you when you have these different insecurities and you choose not to work on them. Hold on. She's okay. She said us as women need to stick together and network and teach each other because the people of the world are not. And that is true. So we were telling Kai said my confidence is way up dealing with men that tried to make me break me. The rebuild was real. Now when I walk in a room, all eyes gravitate towards me. Trust me, I feel the negative vibes too. She said, you're so right. Peace within yourself is key. Nate said facts and Nate said Kia with the gems.
You know it, Nate. You know it, Nate.
Nate was supposed to be up here, but I just started going in today. So everybody like, let's easy do her thing. But you know, the confidence, like you said, Kyla, it definitely, it's a rebuild. That shit is not easy, yo. Like when you've been broken down so much and when you feel so insecure about yourself and you done been told that you wasn't beautiful, whatever. You could have been told you're not beautiful, nothing, like you never gonna amount to nothing. Nobody else ain't gonna want you, whatever. That shit does damage to you. And that rebuild to build yourself up, that shit is not easy. So ladies, talking to myself as well, when we get, even men, when we get, after we rebuilding ourselves up from maybe friendships, relationships, maybe dealing with some things with your family, we gotta tend to learn to keep it up there. We gotta stop bringing it back down because then that sets us back again. So we gotta learn to, once we get up here, stay up here. Sorry.
You gotta watch out for those that don't clap when you win. And those type people who never give compliments. Watch out for those people.
Say that again.
If you gotta watch out for those people who don't clap when you win, and you gotta watch out for people who don't compliment. Because people that don't compliment, they'd rather die than tell you look nice.
Yeah.
Or they'd rather die than tell you good job. Or they'll rather die just to say, well deserved. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But them type people stay away from, run. And when you see it, don't avoid it. Keep a mental note, because I was with somebody like that before. Never, I don't care what I did, never gave me a compliment. I don't care how I looked, never gave me a compliment. But instead of it letting me feel down, it felt like I rose from the dead, because I'm the type of person,
He was like, oh, okay.
If I know you don't like me, I'm really going to make you not like me. And if I know what I'm doing is right, but to you is wrong, and it is, and I'm going to just keep doing it. I'm going to just keep shining. And that's just what it is. And you really going to be mad. You're going to go from mad to pissed to big mad to just stop talking to me. Because my presence is going to upset you. I'm going to have you so upset with me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that I definitely agree with you on I agree with you on everything. But when you said keep people away from you that do stuff like that, because I'm all about celebrating my friends, Kia. I don't care. It's something small. What? I'm happy for you. I'm congratulating you. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not going to take my insecurity because I'm not doing nothing with myself or whatever it is and put them on to my friends. Because if you never clapping for nobody, that means that you never clap for yourself.
If it ain't your turn, it ain't your turn, bro.
Facts. Yes. If it ain't your turn,
it ain't your turn, it ain't your turn.
And you can still clap for your friends.
If you do right by people, if you do right in life, yours will come. It may not be today, but if today, celebrate me. And if yours is next week or 6 months from now, then we celebrate you. We just gotta wait your turn.
Yep, exactly. Wait your damn turn.
Facts.
I'm telling you, but that's crazy because that is what being insecure can do to you. That is what having insecurities can do to you. It can make you jealous. It can make you envious. It can make you not celebrate and want to be a part of the positive things that your friends and you know, maybe your loved one that you're with, they have going on. Because you decided not to work on yourself. You have to work on yourself. You have to.
Don't
You not work
because you ain't me. Congratulate me. So I deserve it. Fucking offies.
Don't be mad because you ain't me. Don't be
Don't be
mad because you ain't me. And don't be mad because you ain't like me. Don't be like for real. Like
don't
I
hate
don't
me
know.
because you ain't me. That's it.
Right.
That's
Do
it.
not. Yep. That's an old saying, but that's some real stuff.
It is.
But a lot of that hate, Kia, is from people being insecure.
Like, oh,
Sometimes,
who raised you? They said
sometimes I think that sometimes some people don't even know or realize, you know, how hateful or insecure that they are or are being. I think some people
some people normalize hate, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes,
they
they
do it so
do.
they don't even be aware of it.
Yes.
Them type people get the side eye.
Yep. She said, that's right. I love to see people win. No, facts. Like, you should be happy. But when you're dealing with those things, and I talked about earlier, I talked about the different kind of ways of being, how you get insecure, how you can become insecure. Some of the things was from abuse, childhood experience, body image, your body, you're not comfortable with in your skin, and so you're insecure about that. Being in a relationship can cause a lot of insecurities with people that like to be perfectionists, because that will cause you to be insecure when you want everything to be perfect. Life is not perfect, so that causes a big part of it that can cause insecurity within you. Lack of confidence when you're in a social setting, being around people, being on social media, you know, people saying negative things or talking about you. And then one was the top one was based on recent failure or rejection. So like if you was rejected from a job, or you was rejected from something else or whatever, it can really cause insecurities within you.
Man, you better ask Black Jesus to help you. When you start feeling negative, you better say, listen, Father God, please help me remain positive. Cause I'm feeling negative and I'm about to start wilding. You better ask for the help.
Yup. Amen. That's why I said you gotta open up, you gotta communicate. You have to say something, because even insecurity causes anxiety. And I didn't know that. I mean, a lot of things cause anxiety, but you know, I was looking up a lot of things today, and it said that, and I was like, wow, uncertainty, of course. Now you self-doubting yourself. When you insecure, you have all these self-doubts about yourself. And like you said earlier, and I said earlier, and some people too, like, it stops what you're doing. It stops it. You're not gonna be able to go into your full potential if you're insecure about these things and you choose not to work on them.
Listen, man, you heard what French Montana said.
What?
Bitch, don't block your blessings.
Yeah, you annoying. Bitch, don't block your blessings.
When you act like that, and when you do things like that, you block your blessing, Joe. You do.
Yep.
And then you wonder why good things don't never happen to you and for you. Look what type of person you are.
Yep. I don't even gotta do nothing.
You better ask. I'm telling you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so, I mean, you have insecurities like that to where people portray it on you, they negative, but then you really just have, like we talked about earlier too, like just insecurities from being in relationships or just past growing up in your family and the lifestyle you grew up in, and it's insecurities and you're not portraying them on nobody, but you have to work on them shits.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
I cannot teach my children to be secure within themselves and to love themselves and to learn about the different aspects of self and to really pull from that when you're going through something, or you just need to pull from internally from within. I cannot teach them that if I'm not doing it and showing them that as well.
Mm-hmm.
She said, my homegirl used to be tight with me for calling every sister I encounter beautiful. Why?
Hater.
Why? That's crazy.
Hater.
Like, why?
Hater.
So what? And if you don't think that person don't look whatever, then you don't gotta say nothing to them. But why? What's wrong with uplifting each other? That's what I said. That's what's wrong. These insecurities create jealousy within the Black community. it really creates a lot of jealousy within our community. Everybody's trying to, oh, I'm better than this, I'm doing better than this person, I'm this, I'm that. But when you like I said, when you go home at night, you look in that mirror, what insecurities you really dealing with? Like everybody got some type of insecurity that they're dealing with, whether they're putting it on somebody else or they just dealing with it with themselves. In our community, it's a lot of that going around, and then it turns into jealousy and all this negative shit. And no, let's help one another. Let's look at one another and say, like, you know, how can we help each other? How can we try to move forward? Like, and I don't want to bring up, because I don't know, you know, the whole situation with the girl that's been going all over social media about, you know, she was using the bathroom outside and stuff like that. And I, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like at first I was laughing, like I was like, what the fuck? And I off rip though, like I knew something was wrong with her, because I'm just like, anybody that's doing that, like to me, it's something wrong with them. But then once you really start seeing like social media, people like telling her story and seeing what's really wrong with her, she might be going through a lot of different things that of course nobody doesn't know about. But at the end of the day, that's just a part of, like, you know, everybody laughing. She could be insecure about things. They said that her kids were taken from her. She doesn't have any family, you know, different things that people deal with that make them insecure, and that, you know, she probably, well, most likely she has a lot of mental health issues. So we have to look at that as well. We got to stop. Like I said, I laughed too. I laughed too. We all did. Most of us laughed, even if we knew something was wrong, until then a lot of us kind of started understanding once we, you know, started to understand and see like, okay, you know what? This girl really has some issues going on. This is not a laughing matter. And I respect that, because somebody that's maybe insecure, they won't be able to do that. They'll just keep trying to portray the jokey on her. She said, God definitely has to be the center. And she said, we got into a heated conversation because I was like, you never know if they needed to hear that. Facts. She said, down to she even made up a lie after one of my pics got 300 plus likes. Obviously, we're not friends anymore. What? I don't got time for that. Like, what? I'm confused.
Yeah,
And it's not, I'm confused, Kyla, but it's really nothing wrong with bigging up, you know, us as women bigging each other up. That's something that we should be doing. We should be helping to lift each other crowns up instead of fucking tilting them shits. And same for men. It should be more men trying to be around, helping each other out and helping each other with, you know, maybe their insecurities. I think that might be something. I wonder, I don't have a man up here. I mean, maybe in the comments, but how does that work when a man is insecure? Like, is that something easy for y'all to talk about?
I'm about to say, I think it's worse for them because they don't open up.
Right. I say, is it easy?
They probably think they less of a man. Like, nah, y'all go through the same thing we do.
Yep. Might make them feel less than.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing as lesbian?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Only
like
if
you're human.
Believe.
You go through things like how we go through things. Your heart beat and pump just like mine. That shit can get broken. Your feelings can get hurt.
Yep.
And it's things that people can say to you and do to you that'll have you thinking to the left, you know, whether it's about yourself or, you know, anything. I just think that as a man, you know, all men are taught to be tough and strong. But nah, y'all feelings get hurt and y'all break down and y'all be having second thoughts and, you know, too.
Yep. And y'all got to start trying to talk about it instead of holding it. I always see this meme going around. What's a picture of like, everybody thinks dad is okay. And then it's like a head, the brain, where it's like dad is saying like, I'm okay. And then the other head is like all of these different worries and insecurities and thinking and thoughts like that. Yo, men, y'all got to start to release that. Y'all got to, even if y'all don't want to talk to us women, because sometimes I don't know. I have a lot of friends that talk to me with no problem, but a lot of times I hear like, oh, y'all women gonna throw it back in our face, things like that. But y'all need to find an outlet. Y'all need to stop holding stuff inside. Y'all need to work on that. Y'all need to, as much as you were taught like that, like I said, we're trying to break generational curses. We're not trying to keep generational curses up year after year. Like, yeah, let's continue to be like strong, and strong men meaning we don't talk about our feelings. That don't make you strong.
You want to be strong, go to the army. That's what you want to play tough, go to the army. Go
Yo,
do that.
for real.
You want to be tough
Go.
and you want to be Billy Badass, join the Army, the Navy, or the Air Force, or the Marines. Go over there. But
Yep.
if you around the way, stop acting tough, because you're not.
Yep. You know, I done seen some of the toughest dudes be the most softest ones, and I love it. And it's because
emotion.
What got the most emotion? And I'm not judging them. I'm not calling them soft. I love it when y'all able to open up and speak. Yo, those be some of the realest conversations that I have had when men are able to really open up and speak and talk about what they're going through instead of keeping that shit inside and feeling like they have to deal with everything on their own. I feel like that's a part of being insecure. That insecurity might have come from somewhere, and most of the times it's just because of how we grew up and what men were taught. Men were taught to what? Like he had said, be tough and go to the army if you want to be so tough. Like
my uncle over there right now. Y'all want to be tough? Go over there. Go be tough. I'm the type of man
you said
tough.
Right. Like I don't want nobody that's just like never gonna open. Like, well, how we gonna have a conversation? She said, listen to me. Everyone has beauty. Everyone has flaws. Nobody is perfect, but be careful because those who take their beauty beyond can be very ugly. And when your inside is ugly, your outside is ugly. Exactly. That's what I be saying. Like, yes, we like to get nice. We like to get pretty. We like to dress up. We might like to go out or whatever. But if you have a lot of insecurities within yourself, that shit is gonna show at some point in time. Yeah, I can hear you. It's gonna show at some, yeah, it's gonna show at some point. I could.
My break is over, but I'm about to.
Okay. She about to do it. Oh, and today is her son Kai's birthday. Happy birthday, Kai! I'm over here spam. Happy birthday, Kai. We love you. 21 years old now. You a grown ass man. But and like I said, I can't wait to look. I'm looking forward to this next chapter in your life, Kai. You got this. So, back to what? Okay, she was saying about people's body. Yes, we talked about that earlier too, but we could recap on that. Like, you could wear whatever you want. You could put so much makeup on all you want, girl. What's behind that? How you feeling inside? Do you internally feel good? How you feeling? Do you feel a mess? Do you feel hurt? Do you feel like it's something you have to work on? Once all of that shit come off, how you feeling? How are you feeling? Let's see. She said, I love a sensitive man. Yeah, like you gotta have both. You gotta be a little tough. You gotta be a little sensitive. You gotta have both. You gotta have a mixture of both because I'm gonna need you to talk. Like you're gonna need to communicate. You're gonna need to talk about what you're going through. Stop trying to keep it in. And it's crazy because men are always saying that that's how they were raised, and this is how the black men was raised. So if black men, because to me, this is what I see. A lot of black men will break generational curses financial first before they break internal curses, if you get what I'm saying, and internal things that have been going on within generation. A lot of men will be like, you know what, even some females, you know what, financially our family always been a problem. I'm not going through that no more. I'm gonna make sure my family's secure. I'm gonna make sure I leave a legacy. I'm gonna make sure that we got money in the bank, and that's all cool, don't get me wrong. But you cannot skip that internal part of the insecurities and the things that you're going through. Because if you skip that, guess what's gonna come into play on that page, on that road to success? On top of the other things that's already gonna be on that road to success, on top of the new insecurities that might come along with that road to success of being financially free, you ain't deal with those other insecurities though. Because the money aspect was better for you to get out of for you and your family versus you saying, okay, let's deal with the inside. Let me deal with this. Because if you deal with that overall, if you take a piece of that and say, you know what, let me deal with internal, Let me deal with the financial aspect. Let me deal with the external, whatever, and put it together. I think it'll be better versus you just focusing on financial. Y'all men got to start opening up. Yeah, we want y'all financially stable, but y'all got to start opening up. Y'all have to start speaking. Y'all have to start communicating. And don't wait till you're upset or don't wait. No, just talk. Have a conversation. Be real. Be raw. And being raw is not holding all of that shit within. Like I said, I do feel like men don't have as many outlets as women, but I feel like men, they always got their homeboys, this, they homeboys, that, they always show with their homeboys. So you got to have somebody that you should be able just to talk to get this shit out and figure out how you're going to become a better person and not let this insecurity take over you, not let this insecurity kill your dreams and your passion, and to not let this insecurity make you a bitter person, because it can make us bitter as well. It can make you a very much bitter person. So to prevent that, let's do what we need to do. You know, Kia came on and said some gems. I've been speaking some gems from the beginning. Tiffany said some things, and then we got people in the comments, the fans and stuff, they definitely commenting. So she said, oh, you definitely right, agreeing all the way. What's up, Jennifer? She said, big facts. Happy birthday, Kai. She said, folks need to stop body shaming people. And then she said, I'm glad I spoke on this today. Thank you. Me too. Like I said, my spirit just, since last week, since the show from last week, is just something just kept speaking to me, telling me that I should just speak on this. And yes, folks need to stop body shaming, because guess what? I don't care if you work out, like I said 5 times. I don't care if you have a slim body. I don't care. It's something wrong with you. Your body is not perfect. Your body is not perfect. But you have to love yourself enough to make your body feel perfect, if you get what I'm saying. Like, you have to love yourself enough to say, you know what? Who cares if I don't have the biggest ass? You think I'm about to sit in my house and cry? You think I'm about to sit and think any less than, or think that another girl is better than me because she got a big ass butt? I don't care about that, girl. Go ahead with your big butt. It's not gonna lessen who I am. But a lot of people be body shaming like their bodies is all of that. Everybody got flaws. Everybody. You could have a big ass head. Your teeth could be fucked up. Your skin could be messed up. You could have big feet, but you short. It could be all type of shit that's wrong with you. Like, it can be so many different things physically wrong with you. Stop body shaming. Stop worrying about how somebody else is looking. Or like I said, unless that's your friend and they really not looking right and you need to have a conversation with them, that's fine. But we gotta start worrying about ourselves. All of us. Facts, because I'm a skinny nigga and I don't care. She said, right, love on you, because you can't love on nobody for no one if you don't love you. He said, big ass head. And I know that's right. No, for real, like, listen, that's why I said I'm so happy, like, especially in 2021 where it's so much like everybody want to record you and everybody want to watch what you're doing and everybody want to do this and take pictures and take off guard pictures and doing all this other stuff. Like, what? So we gotta have that confidence within ourselves. We have to not be insecure about our bodies. And y'all gotta stop body shaming, because like I said, every last one of us, including Shantae, our bodies are not perfect at all. Nobody body is perfect. I don't give a fuck if they got a flat tummy. That does not mean their body is perfect. She said, there's some things I'll overlook, but those teeth. Kyla, stop body shaming, Kyla. No, but seriously, like, I just want us as a people, again, I'm going to say it. We just got to start working on our insecurities. We have to start working on us. We have to instill it in our children, in the youth within the inner city. Us as women, we need to start working together more, loving on each other more. Like Kyla said, when you see somebody uplift her, call her queen, let her know she's beautiful, you know. Oh, you looking pretty today. What's up? Like, why is that what is that taking from you, from your self-esteem when you big up the next chick? That shouldn't take anything from your self-esteem. If anything, that should make you feel good because you just bigged up one of your own, our people. Men, find an outlet. Try to work on your insecurities. Find other men that might be dealing with the same thing, or men that might have dealt with certain insecurities, and they up here and they might that helps, teach you a little bit of things. I always say, if you could go into a business meeting with somebody that is higher than you and you learning, if you could learn for whatever you want to do, it's nothing for you to sit around people that have learned how to work on themselves and become better people. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It should be nothing wrong with that. I want to sit around you because how the hell you you got to show me. And like I said, people say that to me all the time. It don't make it like, I don't boast about it. I don't be like, oh yeah, girl, this girl asking me how I got my confidence. Like, no, I'm smiling inside because I know where the hell I came from. And I know where I'm at now. And now that internal part of me that really not insecure about myself, that part is shining on the outside to the point that women are skinny women asking me, girl, how you do it? Years of work, years of learning to love me. But see, that's what I said. When it's real, when you internally work on yourself, it starts to show on the outside. You don't even got to say anything. When you don't work on yourself, it starts to show on the outside. You don't even got to say anything. Like I said, this lady, I know, I love her so much. She seen right through me. She seen right through the nice, pretty outfit, nice hair. Oh, Shantae thinks she looking good. And deep down inside, I was so damaged and insecure. And she seen right through that. So either way, at some point, it's going to shine. It's going to either shine through in a positive way, and them insecurities are done, or it's going to show up to say, listen, you still got some stuff you got to deal with, and you need to deal with that. It makes me feel good. No, seriously. I love bigging up women, right? Complimenting people makes me feel good. No, for real. Like, it takes nothing. And then that helps you too. That just helps you become a better person. That just helps you, say, you know what? You don't know who you help. Somebody could have needed that. Like, somebody could have needed you to say, have a good day. Somebody could have needed you. Oh, I like your hair. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, what's up, bro? I like how you was handling the work on the job today. Like, you never know. Somebody might need something that you're saying. So instead of taking the insecurities that you're dealing with because you don't want to deal with them and portray them on the next person, learn to deal with your insecurities so you could portray some positive shit on that person and not a negative. Because that's what it turns into. And even if you're not doing it on purpose, even if you have that insecurity and you haven't dealt with it yet, it just shows. It starts to show, and it can look like an ugly thing, even if it's something that you're not meaning to be ugly. It can come off as that. So we have to continue, my people, to work on the inner. For real. What's up, Dina? She said, I always compliment my sisters. Seriously, we have to. As a community, we have to. And might I add, you guys, because I was so amped, I was watching the track with all that Black Girl Magic. Sorry, this was a subject real quick, but I had me and my daughters watching it, and my youngest cannot stop talking about running track. She said, I can't wait to run as fast as that girl. She said, I'm gonna run fast just like her mom. She was fast. We was watching that because that's some real Black Girl Magic. And see, my running track or anything, that could be an insecurity if it's something that you just don't want to do anymore, or you feel like you might be less than the other people that's running. Nah, we're going to keep that up there. You feel me? So I just want to give a shout out to that Black Girl Magic one that was running track yesterday. Was that yesterday or the day before? I think the boys was running yesterday. But anyways, shout out to y'all, Black Girl Magic. Kyla said, living here in the South, I had to learn to speak to everyone. Up north, we don't talk to people often. Yeah, of course, girl, the South is so different. Everybody is friendly in the South. They're saying hi, everybody. You could be driving up the street, the people on the porches waving. All my family from the South. So I know. They are so, like, manners-wise, polite-wise. They say hi to you and stuff like that. I mean, I don't mean that they're not dealing with no insecurities. It's just the way that they were brought up and raised. But they definitely have a better, Like they're so nice. They will speak to you. Then without a problem. They're not gonna look you up and down and be whispering in their friend ear. Like, girl, bye. Go worry about your own insecurities. Don't worry about mine. What's going on? Don't worry about what I got on. She said, I love it too. Sometimes it makes me want to do something different. Not saying to steal nobody's style, but you might make me want to try that. Something different. No, for real. And then she said, yes. She said, I love going down there. The love is real. Yeah, it is really different down south versus living up north or even being up north. Right. You might be setting a trend. You might have on something that I like. And I might be like, this is cool. Maybe I could remix this or whatever. And it's not always about copying. It's just you might like something. So at the end of the day, I just want to, because, we're going to end this really soon. I just want you guys to know that insecurities, it's okay to be insecure. Let me word this right. It's okay that we all deal with insecurities. It's okay, because if anybody ever tells you that they never dealt with an insecurity, if anybody ever tells you that, no, I'm fine, I don't know what y'all talking about, I've always felt positive about myself, they're lying to you. We have all felt bad about ourselves. We have all been told things that we let get in our fucking heads, that we let start really like making us believe that's who we really are. I'm here to tell y'all that you're not. I'm here to tell you that that's not it. When somebody is speaking negative or you have an insecurity that you have to deal with, I'm here to tell you to please start working on it. Please start working on your insecurities. Please start recognizing them. Please start understanding why you're going through those insecurities or why you have that insecurity. Because once you start doing all of that, you'll be able to start working on yourself. You'll be able to be a better person. You'll be able to start complimenting people. You'll be able to start helping other people. You'll be able to look in that mirror for real, not for fake, but you'll be able to look in that mirror for real and say, I love me. I look good. I am beautiful. I am handsome. I am handsome. I am that person. I can do this. I was put on this earth for a reason. I'm not going to let a no stop me. These are things that you could look right at yourself and tell yourself and believe it. I'm going far. My procrastination will not stop me. These are things that we can say to each other. My children will be different. I will instill confidence within mine. I will understand that fear is just that. False what? Evidence appearing real. I will begin to understand that fear does not come in place of me trying to go higher in life. These are things that you say to yourself, but not say it to yourself. You believe it. When you talk it, when you say it, you believe it. When I look at myself, like even right, I believe it. This is not the end. Oh, I might be going through something right now, but this is just a trial. This is just a hump that I'm going through. I'm going to be fine. I will be okay. Oh, I might not have all the resources, but I'm going to do the work to go get it. I know I'm insecure about this. Let me start working on this. Believing in yourself is where it starts. I do not care how many people you have around you that believes in you. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that those insecurities could come from without of you, that support that you got around you means nothing. You guys, let's start to tap into self. Let's start to tap into working on our insecurities. Let's start to tap into really, fully loving ourselves. Let's start to tap in to being there and helping the community and helping these youth, because guess what? They are the new generation. And we don't want them to repeat the same mistakes that we made. And I know us as parents, we all say that to our children. We tell every last one of our children, be better than me. Be better than me. But we got to show them better too. Because unfortunately, a lot of things I didn't grow up knowing or learning or knowing that it was important or that I shouldn't do this or that I shouldn't do that. I didn't grow up knowing that. So now it's the point of working on me, but then I got to work with my children. But guess what? It's always worth it. It's always worth it. Jennifer said, always stay positive and focus on you first. It's always hard to stay positive, but working hard pays off. So always keep God in it first, every situation, no matter what you're going through. Amen. And that's the thing. It's not easy. Nobody's sitting up here like, yo, this is going to be easy peasy. Like every day you're going to be feeling yourself. Every day you're going to be like high up and you're going to feel like that. You're not going to feel like that every day. But just understand that that's just a little hump for the next day or even at night. I'm sorry, I'm over here. For the next day or even at night. Reel yourself back in. Reel yourself back into who you really are. Let's try that. We might go through something for that day. At night, though, reel yourself back in, yo. Go in that mirror in the bathroom and shut that door. And have that conversation. Don't go to bed hating yourself. Don't go to bed downing yourself. Don't go to bed being insecure about something that happened during the day. Try your best to understand that we're not perfect. Life is not perfect. And I'm talking to myself first. Things are not always going to come out 100% correct. That does not mean that you create an insecurity within yourself because of it. At all. So you guys, I'm just going to end this tonight. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in. I really appreciate you guys for listening. I really hope, look at my head, I'm smiling out. Well, I really hope that you guys took something away from, just what I had to say. I was up here today for the most part by myself, which is fine. This is Talk with Teezy. So you guys got Teezy today. When stuff hit my spirit, it hit a little bit differently, especially when I'm talking about it. And like I said, this topic came into play since last week. I already had it in my head what we were going to talk about. I didn't know it was going to be like this, but I'm happy that it turned out like this. I'm happy that you guys commented. I'm happy that you guys tuned in. And like I said, I really hope that you guys learn something from this. I really hope that you guys start to work within for self. Work on self. My friend Matt, he has his own line that is heavy on the self-love. That's real. Heavy on the self-love. Don't ever feel bad for loving on yourself. Don't ever let anybody make you feel bad for loving on yourself. But in the process of loving on yourself, y'all, don't make nobody else feel bad or don't shit on nobody else. You don't got to do that to make it, because then that's not real to me. You should be able to love on yourself and make you feel good and make you feel like that person without having to bash the next person. So again, stay true to self, acknowledge those insecurities, work on those insecurities, put some effort into them to where they're no longer insecurities. If you guys have some and you need to talk about it, hit up somebody you could trust. Men, open up a little bit more. Women, we got to work together a little bit more, less hating and more loving and giving each other props. These are things that we need to do within our community. And again, as well, teaching the youth what we didn't know, what we are learning now, so that they can be better than we are. And on that note, I hope that everybody has an awesome night, and we will be back next Tuesday. So I do want to apologize because this Tuesday I did not move forward with Show Support Tuesdays, but my whole month of August is booked in September. So August, we got youth coming on. I'm so excited to interview these kids. Like, they got some stuff going on, and I can't wait for my first interview next week with them. But you guys, make sure you tap in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking, commenting. Thank you for just always rocking with Teezy. Thank you for watching my shows. It really, y'all don't even know. Like, I can't even explain. And I always say this, like, this is the beginning. I'm almost a year in, and I got so many things that I want to do and that I'm going to do. with my Talk with TZ shows. And then just wait for Enlighten Me when I tap into that, you guys. I got something in the works for that as well. But again, we will be back Tuesday with the show support Tuesdays, back to school edition. And then next Thursday, of course, we will be back with another show for Venus versus Mars. Everybody go enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you sleep tight. Look in that mirror before y'all go to bed tonight. Look in that mirror and look at what's something that, first of all, let's start tonight with something positive about ourselves. So when you look in the mirror tonight, that's what I want you to do. Start off with something positive. And we go from there. Everybody enjoy your night. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.